I was 13 years old. I was something around 50 pounds, like very tiny. We just did not understand that selling another human being was a thing. And then that was not enough, so they burying the landmines entire through the border. And then they evacuated citizens out of all the border towns inside now.
I know you got trafficked into China. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's like escaping from North Korea is very different than how other immigrants escape. You know, we don't have a phone, we don't have a map, we don't have any idea. And the only clue I had about the outside world was seeing these lights like coming out of China at nighttime because I was living in the border town of North Korea. And that's my family and I had some clue that maybe they are better off over there. And if we go where the lights are, then we might find some bowl of rice.
So you actually had no idea that it might be better there. You saw electricity
We just guessed it.
and you thought, well, if they have electricity over there, then it must be better.
Yeah.
I saw on a documentary that one of the satellites, if you look at North Korea over satellite, it's a big black spot at nighttime
Yeah.
where you see South Korea has energy, China has energy, and then North Korea is just it's just darkness
It's
because there is
a,
no electricity at night.
yeah, it's the darkest place in the world right now.
So you saw electricity on the other side of the river, and that's all you had to go off of.
Yeah. Just go. Let's go where the lights are. Let's go. Maybe if we go there, we can find something to eat. And I was 13 years old. I was something around 50 pounds, like very tiny, literally, about to die from starvation. And my sister escaped first, and she left me a note saying that go find this lady. She will help you to escape. And I went to her, and she said she could help me to go to China. And she said once you go to China, you will find your sister, and everything will be okay. But we didn't really ask follow-up questions, and also at the time it really didn't matter, because if we didn't escape, you're going to die anyway. So there was no point of even asking, why are you helping me for free?
So was there any fear at all, knowing now that the complete mind control? You had mentioned earlier that you thought that the state could actually read your mind.
Yeah.
That's how brainwashed you were. So was there any fear knowing that, or was
Yeah.
it, I'm going to die, so I'm either going to die here and I'll chance it there?
So this is the thing about people having hard time to understand North Koreans, right? In some way, we are the most bizarrely innocent people, because in North Korea, we are never seen the bad news. Our news is all about victorious battle that our army is doing and how our mother nation is thriving under the communism and everything is wonderful. There is no news about rape. I did not even know the word rape. There's no word news about escaping or anything bad, right? So I was completely not understanding the bad things happening in the world. That if I were born here, I would understand. So just not knowing that how bad things can go wrong, that was not a concept for us. Because we just did not, even though we were seeing executions, those things was not on the news, right? So we just did not understand that selling another human being was a thing. It was not a concept for me, and we didn't even have the vocabulary for human trafficking, or even freedom was there, right? So I think that was the thing, just we did not understand anything at the time.
How fast did this situation develop?
That morning, I found a lady, and she said I could go that night.
It was that quick.
Yeah,
So
the
we're looking
same
at
day.
12 hours.
And then my mother wanted to go home to tell my father that we are escaping. And that time we didn't even the word escaping. It was not. We were just going somewhere to find sister. And we knew that it was dangerous to get caught, but I did not even know the word escape was there. We were like, okay, we cannot get caught because the guards are gonna shoot us if they see us. And I told my mom, we're gonna come back. I thought I saw somehow going back there. I thought it was like temporarily we go to China, we find the sister, we find food and come back home. So I told my mom, like, if you tell him he's not gonna let us go, like, you cannot tell him that. And my mom was like, then I cannot go, I cannot leave him alone. I was like, I just had a feeling if I left my mom there that she's gonna die from starvation. It's like, no, you have to come with me. So she so much trusts me, who's 13 years old, like younger. And she came with me. So we she introduced us to another guy who was going to actually take us through that journey of crossing the river, because that journey is very dangerous and she couldn't do it herself. And we had to climb a lot of different like paths of rocky mountains, and then found a spot that was least seen by the people. And I think they bribed the guard on that post of the guard, and we
Okay.
crossed the river through there.
Is the woman that helped you escape, is she North Korean?
Yeah, she was North Korean.
Do you
and
have any idea how she made the connections to
she
traffic people out?
I heard that she initially sold her own daughters. And you would think it's a crazy thing to do as a mother. And if I were in North Korea, I would have done the same thing. Because that was the only way that I would ensure my child not dying from starvation. Like, I heard that she sold two of her daughters to China. And then at the time she was pregnant. And I think at this point, she rescued me. If she didn't sell me that day, I'd be dead. And I heard she got executed after we left, and she got caught and authority executed her for that. So, of course, like regime executes anybody, let them escape. But that's how she got into the job, because she couldn't feed her children anymore. She had to find a way to make sure that her daughter lives, and that was the way she found that she had to send her daughter to China.
How did she make the connections in China to sell her children?
That I'm not quite sure, but a lot of them now is impossible. But back then, the regime did not crack down on escaping as much. In the 90s, there's so many people dying from starvation. Even authorities could not track down who is dead where. Like in North Korea, when we say goodbye to my mom when I was younger, like there's no guarantee I'm gonna see her again. Because there's no call, there's no letter you can write, there's no email. If she goes out and she didn't find food that day and died, that was it. I will never ever see her again. So many people were lost like that regime just didn't care at the time. And Kim Jong-il thought, he did not think the defectors gonna escape and go to South Korea and then speaking out and exposing the regime that way. So he was like, yeah, if they wanna go, let them go, that's fine. And then they realized by the early 2000, the defectors go and then become spokesperson. Then they expose what's happening inside us. That's when they realized we need to crack down on the escaping.
Okay.
So that's why it became harder by 2003, and I escaped 2007.
What measures did they take to make it harder to escape?
Each year was different. Like in the beginning, they would build these fences, and then they add a high electrified wire fence, right? Like political prison camps, there's electrified wire fences.
Okay.
And then they would give the shoot to kill order for the guards with the machine guns. Like if you see anybody, just shoot them. Don't bother to catch them. And then they were asking China to help. China would install the facial recognition cameras with electrified wire fences again. Everywhere the cameras and the Chinese guards on the other side. And then that was not enough, so they burying the landmines entire through the border. And then they evacuated citizens out of all the border towns inside now. So they are bringing new measures. Now there's completely facial recognition cameras, landmines, electrified fences, both China, both North Korean side, that it just became impossible to escape now.
So it's damn near impossible to get out of there
Yeah,
now.
now nobody can escape.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.